Hey, how's it going? Welcome again to my channel, The Lazy Bookworm. I'm Rebecca and very pleased to meet you. Today on this video I'm going to do the reading habits tag. I actually found this through Lisa in Bookland. I think that's her channel. She did a video on it. I will link her video down below so you can check her video out. I thought this video would be really good because it would be a chance for you guys to sort of learn a little bit more about me. Okay, so the first question is, yes, I read in one of two places at home, either in my bedroom or on the couch in my living room. I usually tend to use bookmarks when I can. I like bookmarks. I in fact actually have a whole mug of different sort of bookmarks that I've gotten over the years. But sometimes I do use a random piece of paper, especially if I need to mark somewhere in a book and I don't have a bookmark handy. I use a piece of paper. I can actually usually just stop reading. I'm not one of these people that can only stop if I finish a chapter. I do tend to like to stop reading after I finish a chapter. I feel a chapter is a good way to sort of kind of end it, and then you put it down and then you pick it up again with a new chapter. But you know, I can end it sort of anywhere in a book really. It's because also sometimes I have to, like for example, if I'm waiting for a bus and the bus arrives, I have to sort of end the book there. So yeah. I never eat while I'm reading. I'm not one of these people that can read like while I'm eating my lunch or my dinner. I do often drink while I'm reading. That sounds really bad. It's not meant to sound bad. But usually when I'm reading, I usually have like a cup of tea with me. Yes, I do tend to listen to music while I'm reading, especially in my bedroom. I usually just put on like some classical music, just hit a classical music playlist on Spotify and just let it run while I'm reading something. When I'm reading in the lounge, I usually can read while I'm watching TV. Obviously, if I'm watching something I like and am sort of involved in it, I usually don't read. But if it's just like sort of, how you sometimes have TV on as background noise, if it's something like that, I usually read. Or if it's like the ads are on, I always read while the ads are on. So yeah. No, I am one of these people that has several books at once. Right now I have about 4 physical books and 1 Kindle book. That's usually the ratio I have. Sometimes it's a bit less. But on the whole, yeah, I usually have about 4 physical books and 1 Kindle, which I have now. So yeah. I I prefer to read at home. That is where I feel most comfortable reading. That's where I can kind of really relax and actually read, and where I feel like I won't get interrupted. But I can read other places. I sometimes read in the park. I often read in a cafe if I'm in a cafe by myself. I can read at uni if I'm at uni, for example. Yeah, but on the whole I would say I prefer to read at home. No, I read silently in my head. That's how I read. The only possible exception would be poetry, because as we know, oftentimes poems are meant to be read aloud. So I do often read poems aloud to myself. Even then, I often just read poems silently in my head, and then I sometimes read them aloud. But yes, on the whole, I read silently in my head. I sometimes, I guess, skip pages. I don't think I really skip pages. I more just sometimes skim through them. I admit sometimes, especially if I'm at a section where it's not so interesting to me, I do that. But yeah, so I would say I don't skip pages. I more kind of, there's something I quickly skim over. Do I ever read ahead? No, I don't. I think with some books I feel tempted to like read ahead because I want to know kind of what happens. No, I never really read ahead because also I feel that, especially when I read ahead, like I skip to like the end or even like the chapter ahead, I feel it won't make sense to me, so I feel like I wouldn't get much out of it anyway. I, on the whole, I do like to keep my books as, I don't want to say pristine because pristine makes it sound like I never read them, and I do read my books, and I like to read my books, and especially with my poetry books, I like to, read them and come back to them. But I do like to keep them as neat and tidy as I possibly can. So I don't really like the idea of breaking the spine. I understand that sometimes it just happens. And especially since I do have some second-hand books, I understand that that occurs. But I really try and avoid breaking the spine as much as possible. And no, on the whole, I don't write in my books. For example, with all my fiction books, I don't write in them. Some of my non-fiction, I do write in them, especially if it's for uni, or especially if it's like a point I'm really interested in, I write in them. But on the whole, I don't write in my books. As I said, I guess the only two exceptions would be if it's for uni work, um, and I'm just sort of taking notes, writing, like putting markers where like the relevant bits are. I would do that. And also my poetry books, I tend to write a lot in them. But yeah, on the whole, I'm not a person that writes in my books. I think, yeah, I don't think I've ever written in, like, say, my fiction books. It's just a habit I'm not really into. But yeah, as I said, there are two exceptions. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my reading habits tag. I hope it makes sense. And I will see you later. And don't forget to like and also to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much in advance. And I will see you next video.